Hi, hello you guys, my name is Elefv. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, as you can tell by the title of it, it is a highly requested one that I've been promising and doing for quite some time now, but I never really got the time to do it until today. As many of you already may know, I'm a big fan of black boots. I have a huge collection of them. Actually, I've done quite some videos on like black boots, which I'm gonna link in the description below in case you want to check them out. But if I have to pick a specific pair, like one item from my black boots collection, it would be of course these Bottega Veneta boots. Now, long story short, this obsession started around like mid of 2020, where I've been really wanting to get this pair, but since it was so expensive, I decided to go for the Asos alternative, which I'm gonna show you right now. And I was wearing them to death, literally with everything, all the way from like casual looks to dressing up as much as I could during a pandemic. These were my go-to shoes. They've been worn a lot, they've been worn pretty much with everything, no kidding, probably even pajamas. So at that time I realized around December that I really like the shoes. I've been wearing them so much, so it would be a good time to invest on the actual Bottega Veneta boots. So as a Christmas present, I decided to go ahead and get these off Farfetch for myself. I was working with them at the time, so they kindly gifted me a discount, which made the process a little bit easier. Still a lot of money, but I'm really happy with the purchase. So since I have kind of both of the shoes and I've been wearing them both equally, I thought for today's video I would just sit down and kind of go through each one of them and talk about their differences in terms of the material, in terms of the design, but obviously the price as well. But this one is already out there for you to see, the fit, and just give you my final thoughts on the two shoes and tell you which one in my opinion is worth investing in. Oh my god, they're so heavy together, I'm already sweating, but I have used both of these pairs the past couple of months now, so I think I'm in a position to talk about them and give you my honest opinion on them. But before I go ahead and talk about these shoes, if you're new here, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. It really does help me grow. Also make sure to hit the bell notification button so you're updated whenever I post a new video. Sounds good? Now we can start. It was no joke that I'm actually sweating from just picking them up, but first things up, I'll be talking about each one's appearance, which I think is pretty obvious, but it's nice to point it out and just go a little bit more on detail about it. Okay, now the Bottega Veneta shoe, as you can tell, is slightly taller than the Asos Dupe, not only on the sole but also on the neck of the shoe. I'm not really sure how you're meant to call that, which I actually prefer, because not only does it make me look taller, which is always a nice added bonus, but also whenever I want to tuck in my trousers and make the outfit a little bit more interesting, the effect shows a lot more. The sole on the real thing is more tractor-like and prominent, making it more of an interesting and spicy design, and they contribute actually to the bulkiness of the shoe, whereas on the Asos Dupe one, the sole is a lot thinner and overall it's a more of a subtle design, and that is something that is quite obvious on the toe as well, as the Asos Dupe one has more of a rounded tip toe, while if I'm to bring again so heavy, the Bottega Veneta boots, this is more of a square toe and more pumped up. As you can tell, there's a lot more height to it. I'm gonna bring it also side to side so you can see. I'm so sorry for the lighting, I don't think it gives justice to any of these shoes. However, the Asos design one is a little bit more subtle, a little bit more wearable maybe. I'm not really saying one is better than the other, I'm just simply stating what I see. Obviously it depends on what you're looking for. The Asos boots are a little bit more wearable and more of like a city shoe that you can wear every kind of day. However, the Bottega Veneta is more of a statement shoe and just a little bit more spicy. Some prefer subtle details, however I'm really not one of them. One thing though that I really do not like on the Asos boots, and I think we can all agree on that, is the front stitching that it has. I would have much rather if it was just one piece of leather, just like the original one. I personally don't really like it, as I think it just makes the shoe a little bit less stylish and fashionable, but maybe this is something that we can overlook considering it is 1/10 probably of the original. That's pretty much the appearance of the shoes covered, so we're gonna move into the quality and the materials used for these shoes, and I think that this is when you can really tell the difference between these two. The Bottega Veneta boots are made from vegetable tanned calf skin, which is a method of tanning the cow hide into leather. Now, vegetable doesn't mean that this is vegan leather, but rather that natural materials were used into the tanning process of the leather. It is actually one of the oldest and most successful methods of tanning leather, as it doesn't really crack and dry out, making it very long lasting, which is what you expect when you're purchasing such an expensive shoes. Now, I must admit, I can see a little bit of cracks, and you can probably tell a lot better with this very harsh lighting. However, the majority of them are on the front of the shoe, which is partly my fault because I only have paper on like the stem, the neck of the shoe. I keep changing the name of this thing, but I don't really have something on here, so I definitely need to put some paper on the front as well, because as you can see, since I'm not really using them at the moment, as I'm stuck at home as everyone else, it's really sinking in, and I don't want that to happen. I paid a lot for these shoes. Overall, you can really tell the intricate work that has been done to this shoe, from the inside leathering to the cut on the ankle to the leather tabs, which are like my favorite thing in this shoe. You can really tell the difference between this one and this one. First of all, they're a lot bigger, and second of all, like, look how like nice they look, even though it's been used pretty much equal amounts to this one. Like, these are just a lot smaller. You cannot really compare the craftsmanship that has gone into this one to the Asos design boot. It just really depends what you're looking for and how much is your budget. But yeah, there is no comparison between these two when it comes to material. So I'm gonna talk a little bit more about these Asos High Chelsea boots as well. Now, these are made from 100% leather, which is great. I think with a lot of the Asos boots and shoes, they come with the like cheap faux leather, but considering these are a little bit more on the pricier sides of the Asos boots, so it's good to see that some actual leather is involved. If I do have to say one thing though about the leather quality of these, is that it is a lot softer than the Bottega Veneta leather. It's a lot more sturdier, whereas this one is very agile. But considering I've used them a lot, I think that they're still holding up to a pretty good shape in my opinion. Like, I'm really pleased with how they're still looking, and I've had them for maybe like 6 months now. I've walked a lot around London with these, especially like during summertime when the weather was a little bit better and when we're not in a national lockdown, and they're still looking pretty good in my opinion. Okay, I think we're pretty much covered with everything when it comes to this pair of shoes. One thing I do want to talk about the sizing is that I got both of them the same size, which is a 42, a UK 8, and they fit me pretty much the same. I know that on the Bottega Veneta website it says that you should size down. I think it says you should size down a size when purchasing this boot, but for me, I don't really think I could have gone down to a 7. I don't think I would have been able to fit in them, and both of them took quite some time to get used to. I'm not going to lie, it was very hard putting them in and putting them out. In the first like couple, like 3 maybe to 4 uses, it was a nightmare, especially these ones, because they're a lot higher to take off or even put on, but they definitely do get easier with the use. So don't be scared if you purchase them and they fit a little bit tight or you don't think you can put them in. Just really push it there, hang in there, and they will be fitting great. I don't have any issues with either of them at this point after owning them for many months. They don't even give me blisters or anything, and I wear them pretty much like 7 to 8 hours a day. I don't think there's anything else to talk about these shoes. I'm pretty certain I covered everything that I wanted to talk about. I've definitely gone through my notes because I always make sure to like not miss anything. Overall, I absolutely love both. I think the Asos one is definitely good for money and more of a subtle design if you want it for an everyday to day use. However, if you really want a show-stopping pair, this would definitely be it. For me, the Bottega Veneta boot is definitely an investment piece. It's something that will stay in my wardrobe and that I'll be wearing for years to come. It is a wardrobe staple after all, but it's just been updated to fit the current trends, and I absolutely love that. Now, if you were thinking of purchasing these, I would suggest that you do. If you are thinking of purchasing these but you don't want to commit on such a high purchase, I would suggest you do the same thing that I did. Buy first a dupe like the Asos design that I showed you today, or there are many available ones. Literally like pretty much every brand at this point, they are making inspired shoes from the Bottega Veneta, and trial them out, see how they fit in your wardrobe, how they fit with your style, and whether you're actually enjoying wearing them. Obviously, as I mentioned before, when I got these, I couldn't stop wearing them. I wore them with pretty much everything there was, and I was very happy with them. And only then was I comfortable with myself to spend that much money and get such an expensive pair of shoes. I feel like I've done a lot of mistakes in the past where I bought shoes like the Balenciaga Triple S just because they were hyped up at the time, but then after the trend was gone, like, I've not worn them a single bit, and since then I've just been really cautious when purchasing designer items, and I would suggest you do the same because yeah, it is definitely a lot of money for a pair of shoes. And that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to like it and subscribe to my channel. It really does help me grow. Hopefully I answered the majority of your questions, but if you have any that you would like for me to answer, feel free to drop me a message down below or send me like a DM on Instagram. I would love to help you out in your search to buy a pair of black boots. I know it can be a struggle, but I've also made some dedicated videos on black boots, specifically on the Asos black boots and which ones I like, so I'm gonna leave that video on the description below. For more daily fashion, you can also follow me on my Instagram. It is Elefv, and it's also going to be added in the description below. I post it twice a day, and there's a lot of art and inspiration for you guys. If there is anything else that you'd like to see, feel free to drop me a down message below. But till I see you again, I hope you're keeping safe, and bye bye.